Mochismo Eugene. Welcome to another video from Exit Strategy. Please like, subscribe, share the video if you found it helpful. Give it a thumbs up and pass it on if you believe someone else will benefit from it. I would appreciate that. Well, my lip is swollen. The last video I did, I was puckering my lip because it felt funny, and that's probably why. Probably some type of virus or bug going around. Hopefully it'll subside, but we shall press on. I uploaded a video a little while ago, and I would encourage you empaths awaken to go and take a peek at it. And I want to warn you, when you do take a look at this, pay close attention to the sensationalism of this topic called narcissist and narcissistic personality disorder. There's an individual on there. He's the host, or not the host, he's the guest, and he's supposedly a self-aware narcissist. He goes by the name of Mir, the chosen one. Interesting, right? Reminds me of scripture when they say, when the Bible talks about those who say to me, everyone who says to me, Lord, 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 is not of me. So it's interesting how certain people in our world will label themselves, name themselves something which is the reverse of what they really are. And that is simply how narcissists work. It gives you delusion, and even when you second guess, or you your intuition tells you that this or that, why would someone name themselves this? Why would somebody do this or that? What the narcissist or the powers of darkness are anticipating, that in your rationalization you will talk yourself out of what your intuition just told you. That first hunch was the right hunch, is what I'm getting at. So back to this topic of this video I uploaded. I felt a need to come in and talk about how you must not let your emotions lead your empathy. Your empathy must be led and navigated solely by your spiritual intuition, not your emotions. And if you think about what I just said, every single time us empaths have allowed either people inside of our life and our lifestyle, or we've allowed ourselves to become vulnerable or open up to people, it was because of our empathy being led by our emotions. Take the church. We go to the church seeking seeking solace, seeking refuge, seeking answers, seeking help with our spiritual woes. And oftentimes, the emotions is what leads us there, instead of being drawn by an angelic, spiritual strength that we know we all need. That may be the reason a lot of times why we go there, but inevitably we end up allowing our emotions to keep us there, when our intuitions are telling us to get the hell out of there, because it's a den of demons. And you must understand this. You who are believers, empath believers like myself, stand on business. Stop playing games with yourself. And when you stop playing games with yourself, you won't allow other people to play games on you. You have to be your worst critic first and foremost. And that way, when people come at you trying to be overly critical of you, all with intentions to break you down, because they know you have power, they know you have assertiveness, they know you have self-awareness, you have a great keen insight of who you are, even in your failings. This is when you stand on business. This is when it rolls off of you like a duck. This is when people cannot penetrate the empath. This is when you know the game. And so this is a very, very deep phenomenon, It is a lifetime of learning and lessons, but it doesn't have to be do-overs after do-overs of the same sort. There are many things in a different way that we're going to learn, even awakened. There's things that are going to slip by us here or there, but they don't have to, because your awareness doesn't just stop at being aware of what narcissistic personality disorder is. It's walking it out, not allowing people to manipulate your good nature. And that happens on a minute, by second, by millisecond, daily. There are people sitting and lurking on how they can capitalize on your goodness. Your observation should counter their observation. I'm not saying change who you are and not be who you are. You are who you are. You can't change who you are, but change who you are and how you move, how you reason, how you reflect, how you observe. And I found it not even fascinating. I found it very predictable and anticipated. Looking at this show, and these things just pop up because I watch a lot of YouTube, so I scan, and it's the blessing of God that I happened upon this Love, Lies, or Lust. Love, Lies, or Lust podcast. And this is not clout chasing. I don't need it. What I'm trying to do is uproot all of the deceptive nature of certain people in our world that claim they have good intentions, but it's all about me. Give me the glam. It's interesting, the individual host could not contain her laughter and silliness when this narcissist began to rattle off who he really was. It was like some type of hood interaction of girls laughing about some pimp telling how he pimps girls, giving the game away. And this is, a lot of times, this is where people make it hard for awakened empaths and people who we are trying to awaken to really catch hold of this thing for the long haul, because it causes, like this podcast will cause people to sensationalize this topic called narcissistic personality disorder, and they dumb it down and they numb it down. And even though they have the education, they end up going on and getting out of one mess into another one, because they detect these things that they should be aware of and refraining from, and yet continue to bite the bullet and go forth and proceed instead of ceasing and desist, myself included. But the more and the more and the more that I take this thing serious, that these people are not playing any games. They are playing games with you, but it's serious business to them. Their whole premise is to destroy you. And that's with all capitals. And unless you take this that serious, and I say destroy you, they don't want to just destroy you. And you may say, well, they can't destroy me. I know who they are. Don't play games with this. Don't think you're stronger than who you are. It's by the grace of God that you were awakened to this, first of all. And it's by his grace and by his spirit that your intuition is awakened. And you got to lean on God and him to guide you. That light that's in you, you didn't put it there. And so the humility in you will cause you to continue to be steadfast. You don't have to let them see your emotions as poker face. Stoic is good. Letting them know with your expressions that you can't read my expressions. You don't know whether I'm in or out. You don't know whether I'm for you or against you. This is how we have to move in this day and time. And the people you thought you could rely on, you could divulge certain things to that you believe have your best interests at hand, we're going to have to tone that down too. These platforms here are pretty much the only platforms that this word should be getting out. In personal lives, there is no get together, no little round table discussions. I believe empaths should be having with naysayers and people who we believe are on the same page. This is a very sacred thing, and it's becoming more and more and more important that we keep this under wraps of sorts, because it's a very sacred thing. Them knowing that you know, not just knowing that you know, but in how you know, they know that you are the one, and they're going to send their minions for you. This is a spiritual war, and it's deeply seated in destroying those with light. Because darkness doesn't like light. It's like the Word of God says, light knows that its deeds will be exposed once the light is on them. When you walk in a room, people who are, have faulty intentions, they vacate if your light is that strong. I'm experiencing that right now. I don't have to worry about running into narcissists. Narcissists run away from me. And it's not because I'm that powerful. It's because the light within me is that powerful. They know you don't need them. And when you walk like that, and you talk like that, and you move like that, they don't waste their time. Because their time is valuable to destroying people. They got to spend excess amounts of time breaking you down. That's like trying to use an axe as opposed to a chainsaw to drop a tree. They want to chainsaw through you. They want you to fall and fall quick, fall hard. And this one individual narcissist on this podcast, I found something that he said that I'm going to re-quote to you guys so you can take emphasis on how serious this is. He said, I may be paraphrasing, he said our whole idea is to anchor ourselves in your memory. Anchor. So even when the relationship is sour, which it's sour when you met them, you just didn't know. They are anchored in your mind. This is what he said. We want to anchor ourselves in your memory, in your mind, in your thoughts. So when that relationship is over and we're no longer around, you're still going to think about us. Nothing could be truer. But what he does not know, and he probably does, he said himself, I don't even know why I act this way, but I do. And he said he was brought up getting everything he wants. That is the reason. But I guess what he was saying is, I don't know why I just impulsively do what I do. Because you have learned that behavior so much, so long, you are not willing to abandon it because it feels so good. And so knowing that, he said that they anchor themselves in your thoughts and in your mind. What they didn't anticipate is we've anchored them and the behavior that they demonstrated to the empath. We've anchored that in our mind in a way that is not grudgeful, it's not bitterness, it's not resentment. It is something, a lesson that will never be unlearned. They've given up the cheat sheet, and we were paying attention. I got over 2,000 subscribers, and I want to take time to say thank you. I appreciate you guys just sticking with the content, and just being supportive and having your ears here and your eyes here on what I'm talking about, because I like to be practical about everything I do as much as I can. I believe I could be monetized right now. That is not my interest. In a big way, it's not. At some point, I may look into this, but I need to be able to wrap my mind around consistency and putting out a lot more videos, because there's so much more that I want to talk about But I've been so busy working, and as I tell you, a lot of times I'm a contractor, and it's hard to find reliable help. And again, not just reliable help. Uh, Being an awakened empath is about energy. It's an energetic exchange for me when I meet and interact with people, and it doesn't stop with workers. In short, if I detect and determine that there is a strong, overt narcissistic odor and darkness that's aligned with that person, uh, I will pass on them for working with me because it comes down to a trust issue. Certain people who have dark energies, I won't ride in my vehicle. And a lot of these guys that I hire, they don't have vehicles. Um, and this is not to be judgmental because I am that guy. If you need a ride to get to the job place, even if you have a car, it's all about carpooling. We're going the same way. And if a truck or a car can capacitate or it can accommodate 4 or 5 people, why take 2, 3 cars? But the energy, if it's dark, I cease and desist. And that's a big word for me, cease and desist, because once you open the door and you crack the window and allow a narcissist a moment of your time and your attention, and they start yakking, and us empaths awaken, we know what a narcissist sounds like in the entry. They start talking a mile a minute. They start talking about they can do this, I've done that, and the ego kicks in, and you just nod and go along, and in no time at all, you realize, something doesn't line up. They've done everything, but yet they're doing nothing. And then they'll go from I can do this to victim. It's the same playbook, guys. So enough of that rattling on. I would encourage you guys to go listen to Love, Lust, or Lies, or Love, Lies, or Lust podcast. Just this episode, and it's titled Never Date or Marry a Narcissist. We are demons. Say a prayer for me, guys. I don't know what that is.